What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to go over how I do Nightmare Zone and how I maximize my points, or not my points, but my experience per hour. Recently I've been banging it out, trying to level my defense mainly, and so some of my friends asked me like what my experience rates are and like what settings I use, so I want to go over that with you guys. But first, I want to say a huge shout out to all of my supporters. The last video that I made, which was my very first one, just went insane. It went viral. I just couldn't believe it. So I made a video about Zora, and I just did it without learning the rotations or anything. And look at this, 39 views, just absolutely insane, guys. So I just want to say thank you for that. All right, so back to Nightmare Zone. So first off, you have to even use Nightmare Zone, I think you have to complete, it's either, I think, 5 or 10 quests in order to even start. And you know, if you go to the wiki and let's see, it'll tell you the requirements, like what they recommend for meleeing, and so that's all I'm doing. I'm just meleeing, and so yeah, it is 5 quests that you have to do before starting it. So anyway, so what do I do? So the gear that I use is always the same, and I would say my gear is mediocre. It's nothing special. It's not crappy. It's just very mediocre. I have full void. I have a fury, dragon boots, Zerker ring imbued. And I have a regular whip, dragon defender, and a fire cape. Probably the hardest thing to get out of all of this is the fire cape. You know, if you just want to use an obsidian cape, I mean, that's fine. The fire cape doesn't really help all that much. And then void obviously takes about 8 hours to go get. Now I have elite void, but I don't think that has any advantage over regular void in terms of meleeing, except the prayer bonus. But the way I do Nightmare Zone is I'm just very AFK and I don't use any prayer pots, but we'll get into that. Alright, so your very first time, whenever you come here, you're going to always want to bring prayer pots, only for your first time. And then your first round, you just protect from melee, and then just get as many points as you can. And then after your first time, you're going to do exactly is what I'm about to show you here. And so this is what I do. So you want to talk to this guy and select Dream. Always do Rumble and always do Customizable Hard. And then it's going to cost 26k every time you do it, and you just say yes. Now you put your coins here in this coffer here. And I think I put about 50 mil in there just so I won't have to worry about it. Oh, or 81k, either or. Alright, so anyway, so whenever you know that you have enough money, you then need to select your potions. And so after your first round, whenever you get all your points your first round, you'll then have enough for these potions. So I take 24 overloads, and then the rest is oh wow, I don't even have enough. Now, then the rest is absorptions. Now you buy your potions over here in this chest. You go to benefits, and then you just buy max amount of absorptions and overloads. I don't use anything else, just those two. There's one short, look at that. Alright, so whenever you have your pots, you want to say drink potion, and this is the setup I always use. I always use Count Draenor, I guess, King Ronald, Tree Spirit, the Warlord, and then Bouncer, and that is all I use every time. It's just automatic. So then you hit accept, and then you go in here, and then you're going to want to have a rock cake, and you get that from completing the dwarf sub-quest and recipe for disaster. And so these overloads, they knock down your HP by 50 and give you a certain amount of boosted stats. And then once you do that, you want to drink your overloads until you're max, which is 1,000. And then just make sure you're at 1 HP. So what the absorptions does is whenever someone hits you, for every point of absorption that you have, the damage dealt just takes away one of those absorptions. So if they hit you for a 5, it will take out 5 absorptions. But since you use this rock cake and you go down to 1 HP, the most that they can hit is just 1. And so you always want to have 1 HP. Now here, so since y'all want to know what my XP rates are like, I'm going to reset that. And so now I'm set. See, the only thing that you have to do is every 5 minutes you need to come back and then you need to re-sip an overload. Because once this runs out, it's going to restore 50 HP and then your boosted stats will go back to normal. Then you just drink another overload every 5 minutes and then it will decrease your HP by 50 and that will boost your stats. And so, other than that, it's kind of just AFK. You know, there's a whole bunch of different strategies to this, and mine is probably the most AFK. I don't do anything for 5 minutes, and then I just come back and I drink an overload. Usually I'll play on another account. I do a lot of altching on alts and stuff. You know, I may watch TV, I may do anything else. But what type of experience do I get per hour? So for my stats, you know, I have high strength. You know, I'm basically almost max. I'm not quite there, but I have 96 strength and then 90 attack, which those two kind of deal with how much experience per hour you get. But I get about 120,000 experience per hour. Now normally this would probably be a good time in my video to fast forward it, play some music so you don't have to like hear me rumble. But I don't know how to do that, or I should say I don't really want to learn for the sake of this video how to do that, so I'm not. So, oh, look at that. I'm getting about 134,000 right now, but that's going to level out to about 123,000. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like whenever this overload comes, and I'll show you just what I do every 5 minutes. But yeah, you just want to fast forward the video until you see this overload expire. That'll be fine. Now, you know, there are power-ups and stuff like that, but I don't ever use them. The only power-ups that I do use is yellow power-ups, and what they do is every tick, or every game tick, it increases your special attack by 20. And so I then use this granite maul, and whenever you use the special on the granite maul, you can attack every tick. And so you literally just rapid fire attack with the granite maul whenever you select the yellow power up, but I don't really ever use that. I'm just AFK and I'm just playing on another account. I don't just sit here watching this because that's experience wasted, you know. It's horrible. Alright, so we're getting to the end here, and my experience per rate is about 133. Now that's a little high. Usually it's about 120, 123 or so thousand. And if this video was 20 or 30 minutes, or I showed you like with an hour or so into the video, it would get there, but right now it's a little bit high. Alright, so my overload just expired, so then I want to click this again, and then once my HP drops 50 from drinking the overload, I then want to lower my HP to 1, and then that's all I do, and then I can sip until I'm max absorptions, and then I just go and I play another account. So that's about all I do. So, alright guys, well that's all I had for you. I just want to show you how I use Nightmare Zone.